Prince Harry often talks about the importance of protecting the environment.
Strengthen communities and ecosystems for generations to come, making travel an engine for sustainability.
Yet new flight records show he is still using private jets provided by a secret billionaire friend.
Duke and Duchess of Sussex.
They faced a criticism after it was claimed they took 4 private jet journeys in 11 days, including one to Sir Elton John's home in Nice. So what impact could this have on the royal couple?
So, here is the deal. The couple has been exposed for taking lavish perks from Victoria Jackson, the woman behind a massive makeup empire. This includes staying in $20 million homes for free, while claiming they are self-made. The crazy part is how long they managed to keep this funding a secret from the public eye. Now that the truth is out, their credibility is hanging by a thread. Hidden money behind Meghan Harry and Meghan have spent the last few years trying to convince the world they are independent. They walked away from the crown to make their own way, or so they said. But the reality of their bank account tells a very different story. Recent reports have uncovered that a massive chunk of their lifestyle is being propped up by Victoria Jackson. If you do not know the name, she is the genius behind a massive QVC makeup empire. She is not just a friend, she is effectively their silent patron. Jackson has been providing the couple with some incredible perks. We are talking about a luxury brownstone in New York City and a massive estate in Los Angeles. Whenever the Sussexes need to move across the country, they do not hop on a commercial flight like everyone else. They use Jackson's private jets. This is a key detail because it makes their constant talk about climate change look a bit hypocritical. Taking a private jet for a short trip is one of the worst things you can do for the environment, yet they seem to do it regularly. But it does not stop at travel. Meghan has been seen promoting Jackson's products quite often. In exchange, she gets access to a world of wealth that even some royals would envy. Then there is the dress drama. Meghan wore a $1,695 gown for a Netflix special that she reportedly got for free. Her team says it was all transparent, but critics are calling it scrounging. In the royal world, there are strict rules about taking gifts. By keeping the dress, Meghan is showing she does not care about those old protocols anymore. Hands down, this is one of the biggest gaps between what they say and what they actually do. The couple claims they want to be seen as normal people, but normal people do not have billionaires paying for their housing and transportation. This funding revelation has pulled the rug out from under their self-made narrative. It shows that while they might be out of the palace, they are still very much dependent on the deep pockets of others to maintain their image. The question now is how the public will react to this clear contradiction between their words and their actions. Royal Slurry Lagoon controversy. While the Sussexes are dealing with money drama in the United States, King Charles is facing a much smellier problem back in England. He has just gotten approval to build a massive slurry pit at his Sandringham estate. To give you an idea of the scale, this thing is going to hold 2 million gallons of organic manure. That is about 7,570,823 liters for those of you who use the metric system. It covers about 1 acre, or 4,000 square meters, which is roughly the size of 4 Olympic swimming pools. The neighbors are not happy about it. In fact, they are furious. Imagine trying to have a summer barbecue while the smell of 2 million gallons of animal waste wafts over your fence. One local said it is going to ruin their summers. The pit is less than 1 mile, or 1.6 kilometers, away from Anmer Hall. That is the holiday home of Prince William and Princess Catherine. So, if the wind blows the wrong way, the future king and queen are going to get a very unpleasant wake-up call. Charles is doing this because he is a huge believer in organic farming. He wants to use this manure as fertilizer for 6,671 acres, or 2,700 hectares, of land. It is great for the environment in the long run, but it is a nightmare for the people living nearby right now. What makes it worse is that the pit will not just take waste from the king's farm. It is going to collect manure from other farms all over the area. This means more trucks, more noise, and definitely more smell. The local council approved the plan in early 2026, despite a lot of protests. It shows that even a king has to deal with local politics, though he usually wins. Some people are joking that this is a great way to keep Prince Andrew away from the main house. If the smell is bad enough, maybe he will finally move out of Royal Lodge. But, in all seriousness, it highlights the tension between the king's green goals and the daily lives of his subjects. The smell might be bad, but it is nothing compared to the emotional weight of a promise William recently kept. Prince Heartfelt Promise Fulfilled. Prince William recently traveled to Leeds to do something very special. Back in 2021, he made a promise to a rugby star named Rob Burrow. Rob was a legend in the sport, but he was diagnosed with a terrible condition called motor neuron disease. In the United States, you might know it as ALS. William promised Rob that he would help open a special center to treat people with this illness. Even though Rob sadly passed away in June 2024 at the age of 41, William did not forget his word. On November 20th, 2025, William officially opened the Rob Burrow Center for Motor Neuron Disease. This facility cost about $8,600,000, or £6,800,000. It is the first of its kind in the United Kingdom. It is designed to give patients and their families the best care possible while also doing research to find a cure. William spent a lot of time talking to Rob's widow, Lindsay, and their children. He told them that Rob would be very proud of what they have achieved. This visit was very different from the usual royal ribbon cutting. You could see that William was genuinely moved. He has been taking on more of these serious roles lately, especially with everything his family has been going through. It shows a level of maturity and dedication that people really respect. He is not just showing up for the cameras. He is following through on commitments he made years ago. The center is a huge deal for the medical community. It brings together experts from all over the country to fight a disease that currently has no cure. By putting his name and time behind it, William has helped raise millions of dollars and a ton of awareness. It is a legacy that will help thousands of people for years to come. It is also a reminder that William is becoming the steady hand that the monarchy needs during these shaky times. As William focuses on building things up, another member of the family is fighting to keep his life from falling apart. Epstein shadow returns, Andrew legal pressure, testimony demand grows, palace secret files. Royal exile legal battle Prince Andrew is back in the headlines, and, as usual, it is for all the poor, wrong reasons. Even though he was stripped of his titles in late 2025, the legal pressure is not letting up. In the United States, lawyers and government officials are pushing harder than ever for him to testify about his links to Jeffrey Epstein. They want answers, and they do not care if he is a member of the royal family or not. New evidence has come out in the form of old emails. These messages show that Andrew was still trying to meet up with Epstein even after the guy had already been in prison. This totally contradicts what Andrew said in his famous, disastrous interview a few years ago. Because of these emails, the police in the United Kingdom are now looking at new allegations from 2010. It is a nightmare that just will not go away for the palace. The pressure is coming from the highest levels of government. Prime Minister Keir Starmer has even suggested that Andrew should cooperate with the investigators. This puts King Charles in a very tough spot. He is the one paying for Andrew's security and his lifestyle right now. If Charles keeps supporting him, it looks bad for the monarchy. But if he cuts him off, Andrew might get desperate and start talking to the media to make money. Andrew is currently 8th in line to the throne, but there is a lot of talk about removing him from the line of succession entirely. That would require an act of parliament, which is a huge deal. For now, he is a royal in name only, living a quiet life while the storm rages outside his door. His reputation is already destroyed, but a trial in the United States could be the final nail in the coffin. While Andrew stays quiet, his ex-wife Sarah Ferguson is reportedly considering a very loud and very expensive alternative. Oprah Interview Part 2. Sarah Ferguson, also known as Fergie, is reportedly being offered huge amounts of money to write another book. We are talking about 7-figure deals from publishers in the United States. They want her to tell the real story of what goes on behind palace walls. Fergie has always been a bit of a loose cannon, and right now she might be tempted by the cash. Her past business ventures have not done very well, and she needs a way to maintain her lifestyle. The palace is terrified of what she might say. She knows all the secrets, not just about Andrew, but about the rest of the family too. There is even talk that she might sit down for another interview with Oprah Winfrey. If that happens, it could be even more damaging than the one Harry and Meghan did. Fergie has a way of saying things that get her into trouble, and a tell-all book would be a disaster for King Charles. Experts think the palace might try to stop her by reminding her that her daughters, Beatrice and Eugenie, still have their titles and their positions to think about. If Fergie goes too far, it could hurt them too. But Fergie has a history of doing what she wants. She has written books before, but they were mostly about her own life. This new offer is specifically for the juicy royal details that everyone is dying to hear. It is a tense situation. On one hand, she has been very loyal to Andrew through all his scandals. On the other hand, a $5 million check is hard to turn down when you are struggling with debt. If she decides to talk, the monarchy could be facing its biggest crisis since the abdication of Edward VIII. The parallels between then and now are getting harder to ignore. If Harry and Meghan are truly being funded by a billionaire, does their message of independence still hold any weight? Is the monarchy surviving on secrets, or just moving from one scandal to another? Let me know what you think in the comments. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to like and subscribe for more.